Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Allah, not Elohim, not God, not Ahaya. It's Yahweh. His only begotten son name is Yahweh Shah, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, and the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord willing, this be edifying. And this is about a mother under arrest, children found in freezer. Lord, will this be edifying?
On top of a developing story right now with a mother under arrest after a gruesome discovery.
Two of her children were found dead in a freezer at a Detroit townhouse, and 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner has been on this case all day.
This mother of four was about to be evicted. They were going to throw her stuff in this dumpster. This discovery was made by a bailiff inside the unit, inside the freezer, the two kids. Nobody else was here. But the mother told a friend just before she was arrested that her son was sexually assaulted. So is that another reason why she used some discipline? Police are not confirming this tonight.
Well, you could have just gave them to me. We could have figured out something. She like, I'm sorry. Well, that's what you should have been telling the kids. Like, you can't now, because they gone. That's just bold. Like, it's wrong.
This is her friend, 35-year-old Michelle Blair. Her middle name is Angela. She was known to everyone as Angel. Get this. Her friend says Michelle told her that her son was sexually assaulted, apparently by his siblings.
I'm like, Angel, why wouldn't you just give the kids to me? She like, Tori. I'm like, why you just didn't give them to me? We could have figured out something. She like, they was raping my son.
Police say people here cooperated with them to find the mother at this complex.
We're still trying to determine what happened.
Is she cooperating, Chief?
At this point, we're still in the middle of an early investigation, so I can't go into any statements.
The other two kids are in protective custody. A neighbor went to school with a 17-year-old daughter and says her mother was always nice. This is hard to take.
It's like unreal. She must have really had been going through something. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can go through to make you do that to kids, because they don't deserve it and they didn't ask to be here.
The bodies were taken from here to the Wayne County Medical Examiner's office to determine the cause of death and to find out if there was any other trauma. Were these kids beaten before they were put in the freezer? Police here said they had been in that freezer for some time. In Detroit, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
Hey, that's cold, man. Hey, but that spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? That's the Most High for you, man. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse Deuteronomy 28 and 56. It reads, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the one of all things. This is going to 70 AD, but it's going to happen again. For the one of all things in security, in the siege and straightness wherein thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. The point is, Her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her children, and towards her son and her daughters, and toward her young one that cometh out between her feet, and towards the children, and towards her children which she shall bear. Okay? Yeah, man. Hey, she had her kids in the freezer, man. And tell you when you read the article, because she was trying to keep here it go right here. It say female kept her dead children in freezer to continue child support, man. Let's play this one. Let's play this one.
She's being held on $1 million bond.
Yeah, we're talking about the Detroit mother accused of putting her 2 dead children in a freezer and then leaving them there for years. She faced the judge today.
7
Hey, that's
investigator
cold,
Jonathan
man.
Carlson's been following every lead in this case, and he joins us live with new information. Jonathan.
Guys, good afternoon. Let me step out of the way to show you a growing memorial in front of the home here, the apartment home where these children were found. Detectives have been canvassing this complex all afternoon to find out what people knew. Michelle Blair stood with little emotion as a judge essentially made sure she wouldn't get out of jail anytime soon.
Certainly the charges in this matter are so heinous that I am going to place the bond at $1 million.
In a bizarre move, Blair walked off while the judge was talking, only to return later. The 35-year-old faced child abuse charges, but could soon add murder charges to the list once autopsies are complete on her 2 young children found dead in her freezer. Sources tell Action News they believe Blair tried to keep the murders a secret so she could continue to draw child support. Through interviews with family members and documents the 7 investigators uncovered, we've learned of a lengthy history between Blair and the fathers of her 4 children, which involve fights over custody and child support. She had full custody of the children. We tried to question the father of 2 of Blair's kids, including the then 13-year-old Stony Blair, the oldest victim. He refused to talk, his sister talking for him.
You see, first off, she shouldn't have no 2 different baby daddies, man. That's first and foremost. That's the problem, man. Okay? It's Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman build her house, but the foolish pluck it down with her hands. See, this is a problem, man. This is a problem. Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple, and knoweth nothing, man. That's what the Lord say. She being clamorous and simple and knowing nothing. He say, therefore, Job 39:17, because power have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he parted to her understanding. You see what she did, man? Let's read this. Job 39:16. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, man. She have no fear of putting her kids to death, man. Okay? She have no fear, man. Job 39:16. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because power have deprived her of wisdom, neither have imparted to her understanding, man. You see? Hey, this is madness, man. They say for years she had them in the freezer, man. And I'm sure it's one of those big deep freezers, man. Because a lot of Jake got them, man, to keep their meat, whatever, froze. This is Lamentation 4:4. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. But the daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostrich in the wilderness. And the ostrich in the wilderness, what I read to you in Job 39. Say she buried her eggs, not knowing that she wasn't going to crush them herself. Yeah, man. Matter of fact, let's go back to it. It's Job 39. It's Job 39 and let's restart at 13, right? It reads, gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacock, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leave her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust. Right? She put them in the earth to warmeth them up, right? And forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. You see? She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain, without fear. For Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. So, when you go to Lamentation 4 and verse 3, even the sea monster draw out the breast. They give suck to the young ones. But the daughter of my people has become cruel, like an ostrich in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleave to the roof of his mouth. For thirst, the young children ask bread, and no man breaketh unto them. And don't you see, man? She had become cruel to her people, man, to her children, as if they was not hers, man.
She says her brother didn't push to see his kids more because he was afraid of breaking custody rules. Do you think your brother wishes now he pushed it more?
Yeah, he wished he pushed it, but yeah, and that's why he's so hurt. He was calling her. He was talking to Gabby. She let him talk to Gabby. And it was like, okay, Gabby was like, okay, well, let me talk to your sister. Where's Tony? Oh, she's gone. She's over here. She's over this friend's house. She's doing this. She wasn't never there.
So he got the run around over the phone for almost 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years, mad at himself. Because he didn't fight. Because he know, I should've, I could've, I knew she wasn't all the way there. He didn't think she was going to hurt his babies. Her babies. I mean, they're yours.
She says the other kids in the house likely knew of the deaths, but were afraid to say anything for obvious reasons.
Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the freezer too. So I'm just going to wait and hold on. Maybe somebody going to help us.
Back here live, people have been coming here to the home all day long, passing around flyers for a vigil that's going to take place tomorrow night here at 7 o'clock. As for the other 2 children, they're still in protective custody, I'm told. Sources telling me a short time ago they too suffered serious abuse and were aware of the bodies. It's believed the murdered children also suffered serious abuse before their death, sources tell me a short time ago. Now, coming up all new at 6 o'clock, you'll hear from a next-door neighbor, the best friend of the mother, who details exactly what she says happened in the moments right before the bodies were found and that mother was arrested. For now, we'll send it back to you. We're live in Detroit. I'm Jonathan Carlson, 7 Action.
You see? Hey, man, the Lord cold, man. Lord cold,
Completeness of
man.
the record, I'm going to enter an order that Ms. Blair deemed competent and criminally responsible in this case, and she was competent to waive Miranda. Now, the information I have before me is that you want to plead guilty to count 2, the premeditated murder of Stony Blair.
Yes.
And count 3, the felony murder of Stephen Barry.
Yes.
Let's read this. 1 Samuel 2 and 3. Talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord Yahweh is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Okay? And by him actions are weighed, man.
Am I correct that you want to plead guilty to those counts?
Yes.
You meant to kill her.
I definitely meant to kill her.
It wasn't an accident.
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
Okay, again, you knew you were seriously harming him, but you didn't intend to murder him.
No.
Okay. But your actions ultimately caused his death.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Were you Stephen's mother?
Yes.
He was in your custody?
I don't claim him as my son now, and I do not claim Stoney as my daughter. I have 2 children, that's it. Stephen and Stoney are demons, period.
Listen to my question. At the time...
She said they were demons, man. Hey, what you got to understand is, man, with the Lord, if you was wicked, man. Listen to this. Deuteronomy 24 and 16. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin, man. Okay? Hold on. Let's get another one. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Ezekiel 18 and 20. It reads, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the fathers, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So, but if the wicked return from all his sins that he have committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live, he shall not die. What you got to understand is everything is done by the Most High, man. Okay? He do these things, man.
When he died, he was in your custody or care?
Yes.
How old was he?
Stephen was 9.
And again, did this happen at your house in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have already been of old time which were before us. Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and Yahweh require that which is past. Okay? Hey, the wickedness of the wicked and the righteousness of the righteous, man. That's how the Lord worked, man.
What you did to Stephen was punishment for what you did to Maddie, is that right?
For what he did to Maddie.
Yes. For what Stephen did to
Yes.
Maddie. That was punishment.
And if I had killed Stephen intentionally, I definitely would be proud to say I did. But I didn't. But I know all the things that I did to him, how I hurt him, I know it did cause his death. Man, I don't regret none of this. I don't regret.
This is Jeremiah 16, verse 3. Let's read 2. Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented. And this is a future prophecy as well. Neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the field. The point is, they shall die of grievous deaths, man. To put these kids in a freezer, that's a grievous death, man. Why? I always go into it, man. These kids is not kids, man. They are grown people back in a little body, man. You are the spirits of old back once again, man. Infants that get killed at 3 months, 9 months, and 16 months, guess what, man? They is back for the judgment, man. Point blank period, man.
Any of it. Matthew is my son. That's my baby. There's no way that his brother and sister should know what he feels like inside. There's no way.
Understood.
I don't feel no remorse for the death of them demons.
Okay. All right. I'm going to accept the plea unless either counsel's dissatisfied. I'll accept the plea. We have.
Let me find this. I must find this. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But it's judgment, man. It's judgment. Let me see. It was one I wanted in Ezekiel. But
I'll accept the plea.
let me get this one. This is Jeremiah chapter 9 and 20. It reads, it said, yet hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, O ye women, and learn and let your ear receive the words of my mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one of her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without and the young men from the streets. Listen, man, we supposed to be teaching our kids wailings and lamentations, man, because the Lord can bring judgment like this, man, at the blink of an eye. Let's get this other article. This is a guy. His name is Kenyon Brown. Suspect wanted in connection to 6 homicides, shoots himself. Let's go into this.
Begin with breaking news. Kenyell Brown, the man wanted in at least 6 homicides in Metro Detroit, has shot himself.
A massive police scene at Ridgedale in Pasadena and Oak Park, where that manhunt for Brown came to an end. 7 News reporter Kimberly Gregg is there live with new information. Kim?
Yes, Alan and Glenda, we're in the area of 8 Mile and Coolidge, like you said, specifically Pasadena and Ridgedale. Let me step out of the way here, because in the backyard of that corner house there is where Kenyell Brown tried taking his own life this afternoon. This is just a block away from an adult bookstore where one of our assignment editors, Amy Powers, heard that Brown was spotted. Store workers had called 911 after seeing him in the store and telling him to leave. But when police arrived, Brown was gone, but they got information that he could be close by in Oak Park.
At some point, Oak Park and our officers, after there was a canine search, saw him. He began to evade the officers' attempt to detain him. At some point, as he jumped a fence and went into a rear yard of a residence, he fired a single shot into his head.
At that point, officers called for EMS to transport Kenyell Brown to the hospital. The 40-year-old River Rouge man was finally under arrest in Oak Park after police believe he killed 6 people across Metro Detroit, murders that began in River Rouge.
I find it very difficult to talk about her in past tense. The reality hits me like a wave. Like I thought I would have been out of the phase of shock by now, but I'm not.
Brianna Green's mother, Kimberly Green, was one of Kenyell Brown's first victims, according to police, who say Brown also shot and killed Dorian Patterson. Motive unclear.
Every time I think about my mom, because she was just beautiful inside and out, and that's such a cliche term or phrase, but it's true. She exuberated light and life, and that's what she brought to so many people.
Brown's alleged killing spree began in River Rouge in December when police suspect he shot and killed a man. Then came the murders of Kimberly and Dorian in January. Then last week, Tuesday, in Highland Park, police believe Kenyell Brown killed Garcias Woodyard. A couple days later, he allegedly shot and killed Amir Thaxton. And then early Saturday morning, Eugene Jennings. This afternoon, after Brown was arrested, a woman who may have been helping him was also placed in handcuffs.
It's not over. There's others that we believe have been involved in trying to conceal him, and we're going to take a look at them as well.
And no.
Amen. This Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger. Why? Because they won't turn back to the Lord, man. Wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them, man. Okay?
No word on what police think the woman who was arrested allegedly did to help Kenyell Brown, and we're told he is hospitalized right now. He is alive, but his condition is very critical. And again, Kenyell Brown, the man suspected in at least 6 murders, and we're told today also 2 carjackings, is finally under arrest.
Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Hey, you see, man. Hey, it's Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are set on their leads, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. You see? And that's the mentality of Jake, man. And that's why, hey, the Lord putting in work, man. Okay? Hey, the Lord putting in work, man. For real. 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low. He bringeth low and lifteth up, man. Okay? This is let's get this. 2 Chronicles 2 and 13. 2 Chronicles 15 and 13. That whatsoever will not seek the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, shall be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. Doesn't matter, man. Yeah, we're going to keep going on these same precepts, man. Because you people out there, hey, trying to repent, convert, and be healed, man. Isaiah 45 and 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Amos 3 and 6. Didn't he say, I, the Lord, do all these things? Right. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh have not done it? Question mark. Because the Lord did it, man. Deuteronomy 32 and 39 reads, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Now here was another one from another Jake. Now check this out.
Now, before we get to today's story, don't forget, if you'd like to support my channel with a donation, the PayPal link is in the description box. All donations very much appreciated, and I'd like to thank Andrew S. for his donations since my previous video. Now, take a look at this story here. Disabled man starved to death after the DWP stopped his benefits. The Guardian reports, MPs and campaigners have called for an independent inquiry after it emerged a disabled man with a long history of mental illness starved to death just months after welfare officials stopped his out-of-work and housing benefits. Errol Graham, a 57-year-old grandfather and, in his younger days, a keen amateur footballer, weighed just 4.5 stone when his emaciated body was discovered by bailiffs who had broken down his front door to evict him for non-payment of rent. A coroner's report into the tragedy found that Graham, who suffered from severe social anxiety and had cut himself off from family and friends, had died of starvation. When he was found, his Nottingham flat had no gas or electricity supply. There was no food in the property apart from 2 tins of fish that were 4 years out of date. Graham's family this week blamed the Department for Work and Pensions for his death in June 2018, saying it should not have cut off the financial lifeline of a man it knew to be highly vulnerable. He would still be alive, he'd be ill, but he'd still be alive, said his daughter-in-law, Alison Turner. The findings of an inquest into Graham's death in June 2019 were brought to light by Turner via the independent website Disability News Service. The inquest found that DWP and NHS staff had missed opportunities to save Graham. The safety net that should surround vulnerable people like Errol in our society had holes within it, said the coroner, Elizabeth Didcock. Campaigners say the tragedy, the latest in a series of cases where vulnerable claimants have died after having their benefits cut off, showed serious shortcomings in the DWP's treatment of highly vulnerable claimants. They called for an overhaul of its safeguarding systems and a halt to benefit sanctions against disabled claimants. So, yet another tragic story of somebody losing their lives because the benefit system lets them down. But this story really does reveal the institutional sickness that exists at the heart of the Department for Work and Pensions. Don't forget, the DWP were fully aware of this man's disability or mental health issues, and they knew that they stopped his benefits. It would not take a genius to work out that he was going to be in severe difficulty, financial difficulty, unable to feed himself, and of course eviction, which is when they found his body. Why did nobody at the DWP, even if they had to under their rules, stop his benefits, make local authorities or other bodies aware that he would now be in severe financial difficulty and everything else that came from that? They must be trained not to care or not to bother to do such things, because as I say, it doesn't take a genius to work out that when you stop this man's only source of income, he's basically got no means to survive. It's absolutely disgusting. And
you see, what is that? Isaiah, man. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Because see, what you got to understand is Proverbs 20 and 24 say, man goings are of the Lord. So these people, they trust in Babylon the Great, man. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked in my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. So if you trust in these things, guess what, man? You're going to be destroyed. You don't trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Psalm 68:19, the Lord said he load us daily with benefits. Now, as a matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick. I should already had it queued up, but Salaki for that. Just to show you this guy. Because I don't remember if he showed the guy in his video. So let me pull this up. And I'm going to show you this guy, man. Let me go back. I just want you to see this. Now, if you look at this, you see he got trophies behind him, right? Let's run it back. He got trophies behind him. See all those trophies? Because they say he was he like a low-level football player. Like a minor league, I guess. Now, just to point his trophies, right? Look at his trophies, right? Let's read this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 in verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And everyone that strive for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they that do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. You see this? He got trophies, man. Now this guy died of famine, man. So they say. He died of famine. Look at them trophies. Now you got all them trophies. Was you seeking Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah? No. So let's go back to this.
of course, this attitude comes right from the top. Take a look at this story here in The Independent. Ministers refuse to assess the mental health implications of benefit sanctions despite links to suicide. The Independent reports, the government has refused to assess the impact benefit sanctions have on people's mental health despite repeated warnings they can cause long-lasting damage to the well-being of claimants and their families. Charities, doctors and academics have warned repeatedly that the government's policy of suspending welfare benefits to people if they don't meet certain conditions, known as applying sanctions, can lead to mental health problems, including...
Now the story that he's doing is on this guy right here on the screen that you see.
To a parliamentary question this month asking the Department for Work and Pensions what assessment had been made of the mental health impact of sanctions, which form a key element of its flagship universal credit system, Employment Minister Mims Davies